Hey there everybody, my name is Keno and welcome back to your Toronto Maple Leafs franchise mode series here on the channel. Now before we dive into it in the nitty gritty of this episode, I want to quickly state a few things, okay? First of all, sorry for the uploads. I said it was getting back to normal, but it wasn't. It's been a crazy week. I can't explain anymore. I'll explain during my stream, which will be coming probably this weekend or on Monday night. Keep an eye out for the YouTube posts or follow me on Twitter for that. Another thing, the second thing I want to say is that this video is going to be a little shorter. Okay, I have to do a lot of recording. Not that we're not going to do a lot in this video because we are going to go through the trade deadline. I'm not going to go past that though. We're going to do the trade deadline. We'll do the end of the season and the first round in the next video because I plan to try and make a bit of moves here at the trade deadline with our team. And then finally, if my voice sounds raspy, if you hear a lot of sniffling, I'm sorry. I got a cold. I'm not, 2024 is screwing me over big time. But all that aside, let's get into the video and let's start with congratulations and celebrations. We have Mitch Marner and Matthew Knies locked up long term, and that is a great feeling. Now, this is how our lines were looking at the end of the last video, and I mean, that top line is untouchable. Grebyankin has done great with Matthews and Marner, currently with 41 points in 50 games with a plus 20. I know he's third in the rookie race, but that plus minus might push him over the limit. Matthews has been great, 31 goals in 50 games, not as great as he has been in real life with his 50 some odd goals in 50 some odd games, which is absolutely crazy, but still, this is really good production. And we still have him for the next 3 years after this. And with Matthew Knies, Mitch Marner, William Nylander all signed for at least 3-4 years, this is going to be a great window for us. We also have Morgan Riley extended long-term from the real-life extension, so we have a really nice opportunity here. And we can't even forget Brett Pesce, who's also got 3 more years after this. We might have a very good opportunity at a Stanley Cup before any of these contracts expire, including Matthews' contract. But that does bring us to the pinnacle of this episode and what we are going to do with this team. Now, I was asked to at least check the market for players like Tavares and Nicholas Hague, who both have expiring contracts. Now, when it comes to Nicholas Hague, I'm not as eager to move on from him. We just acquired him. He did miss a bit of time due to injuries. He's done 13 points in 39 games with a +2, 15 penalty minutes. I am a little nervous about his giveaways to takeaway ratio. I mean, 42 giveaways in 39 games and 9 takeaways is a little concerning. Those are usually my big defensive metrics I used to judge by, and he has been injury prone. He hasn't got a lot of ice time since this entire franchise mode series started, and he hasn't been great when he's done it. So that gives me a little more ability to move him. As for John Tavares, Johnny T, our captain, he's got 40 points in 50 games. He's been relegated to a third line role, which is a little upsetting when you think about it. But, you know, he's 34. He wasn't producing as much as we wanted him to. He's still been amazing defensively. 50 takeaways to 20 giveaways, 78 hits. He's not blocking shots as much. But I mean, the hits category, the takeaways, I love that. And I checked the market by find a trade. Nobody's willing to take it. There was only 1 or 2 teams that I could actually find a suitable trade for, one of them being the Winnipeg Jets, and I was not doing that again. After last year, I'm not doing that again. And we won't even speak about what happened last year when we traded a player to the Winnipeg Jets, because that's just not, that's the past, that's history. We won't talk about that. As for John Tavares, I will check the market again closer to the trade deadline. We're about 10-12 games away from it right now. But I believe he's probably going to be sticking with the team because he's going to be our own rental. Even if we can't get him extended, which I'm pretty sure we'll be able to, I don't see a necessity to move him at this current time. I will check the market though, just to make sure. The same goes for Nick Hague. There was some offers for Nick Hague that I was a little interested in, and with our defensive depth, we do have the ability to move on from him. I mean, if you look at it currently, after Nick Hague and McCabe and Valimaki, we still have Iorio. Benoit's already in the lineup. We have Logan Stanley, we have Connor Timmins, we have Josh Mahura, Ronnie Allard, who we picked up on waivers. We have Jacob McDonald, who I don't remember if we signed or picked up on waivers. I believe we signed. We have the rookie William Villeneuve, who's got 19 points in 40 games. He's a +30, and he's got really, really interesting individual attributes, so I have no problem with giving him a shot in the NHL as well, in a bit of a short-term thing. Even Vinny Iorio, when he came up, had 1 assist in 2 games with a +- of 1, eating up big minutes a night. So I wouldn't even have a problem with running him. But again, when it comes to Nick Hague, I'm not as eager to move him. We could always wait until the offseason, as he will be a restricted free agent. So I guess you're going to consider this next about 10, 12 games until the trade deadline as our bit of an evaluation period. We're going to be tinkering with the lines a bit. We're going to be seeing who is struggling, who is not. We're going to see who comes available on the market that we can add in a big way to power up our forwards, because I think that's where we definitely need the biggest boost is our forward core. Not that anybody's really struggling. I mean, Fraser Minton's been great. Nikita Grabyankin's been great. Nick Robertson has had a great season with us this year. Not obviously top 6 minutes, but or top 6 quality in my opinion, but definitely middle 6. He's doing very well. Still, I wouldn't mind adding a middle 6 forward, a top 6 forward. We will see. Let's see by starting out here, our first game of the video. And as is tradition with the first game of the video, we must slow sim it, and it's a perfect one. It's against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are a very solid team. They're currently just tied with us, actually, with 3 games ahead of us, games played wise. I'm going too fast for my own mouth. But yes, we're going to start this video here by slow simming this game against the Tampa Bay Lightning. All right, we're at the Scotiabank Arena here in Toronto, Ontario for this game. First game of the video against Tampa Bay Lightning. First period. And it's a nice 1-0 lead from a goal by Morgan Riley after 1 shots, 12-10 for your Toronto Maple Leafs. Second period. And we add 2 more. Mitch Marner followed by William Nylander. Big 3 players for our team getting us on the board. Shots are 22-20 now in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning, but we lead this one 3-0. And third period. Wow, we blew the lead. Kucherov makes it 3-1, Hedman makes it 3-2, and Kucherov double dips, making it 3-3, and ties this game with just over 2 minutes left. Shots are 34-32 for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the score is tied going into the overtime. Overtime! Scoreless after overtime, just a few shots shared between teams. Let's see how it does in the shootout. I would normally jump in, but I got a lot to do. Shootout, period, frame, whatever you want to call it. And it's a win for your Toronto Maple Leafs. Nikita Kucherov gets a goal, but then Marner and Tavares end this for the Leafs in the shootout. And you guys know how much I love opening a video with a win. That's good. Let's keep going here. We're going to be going rapid fire through these next few games until the trade deadline. I want to aim. Oh, Joe Woll's back, so I'll do the lines in a second. But I want to aim for the top of division. Okay, we're currently 8 points back of it from the Panthers. They're going crazy. The Montreal Canadiens are still 4 points ahead of us. They're doing great, but we have games in hand. In fact, we have the least amount of games played in our entire Atlantic division. We have the ability to come from behind and take that division title and possibly a league lead. I mean, currently the Panthers are tied for a league lead with the New York Rangers. So if we can dethrone the Panthers as the division lead, we might also dethrone them as the league lead. But let's keep going here. First game of a back-to-back against the Washington Capitals here. Can we get a win? Quick sim in this one, and it's a 4-3 loss. Rough game here against the Florida Panthers, who are that team that we need to beat. We need to get a win here. Can we do it? Second half of a back-to-back, and we lose 6-5 in overtime. That's not a great sign. I'm going to pull Samsonov because he's had 3 rocky games to start this video. It wasn't even Ilya Samsonov, it was Dennis Hildeby. I gotta do my research. Damn, it's been so long since recording that I forgot that I put him in. Joe Woll in net now. Ilya Samsonov back him up. Let's see, we're at the Ball Arena here in Colorado. Can we get a win in game 54 of the season and get us back on pace to usurp the Panthers? I'm not sure if we can, but let's see if we can do it. Against the Avs here, it's an 8-5 win, so it's a crazy one, but we do get the win against the Arizona Coyotes in game 55 of the season at the Arizona Arena, and it's a 4-2 loss. Okay. I'm gonna be playing with things, so let me make some line changes. I'll be right back. All right, I jumbled up the lines a bit. I'm not gonna really show you them because it doesn't really matter. The only big change that I made was that Nick Hague is now in that top pair because he has done great in these last few games. Somehow, even though our team has struggled, it looks like he's been only on when we scored goals and not when we've had goals scored against us. And I have put Ilya Samsonov in net. Joe Woll, I know he's only played 2 games and he won 1 of them, but that's a 5-goal win. Technically, you don't expect to allow 5 goals and win the game. So let's go against the Edmonton Oilers here at Rogers Place, game 56 of the season, coming up on the trade deadline quickly. So let's see if we can get this team evened out and ironed out and see where our real weaknesses are. We're currently 9 points back to the Panthers, so we've fallen a little further behind, but we're going to catch up against the Oilers here. Game 56 of the season at Rogers Place, and William Villeneuve is down till March 5th. That's fine. and we win that one 3-1. So a nice win there against the Vegas Golden Knights. First half of a back-to-back. We're on a Western road trip here, a Pacific road trip. So let's see if we can get some wins here. Doesn't really matter. I'd rather win divisional games, but I still want to win games no matter what. So let's go against the Vegas Golden Knights. First half of a back-to-back. And Nick Hague's out with a sprained ankle until March 13th. And I believe that reduces any chances of us trading him. But he was doing good, so I wasn't really eager to trade him anyways. We're going to do replace this player, and we're going to keep going here. Holy crap. I gotta take a look at this. So Elias Solomonson is one of our prospects that we picked up in that trade with the Winnipeg Jets last season. He's done fairly good. His stats look great. I'm not too eager to move on from him. It's a second-round pick in this year's draft from the Calgary Flames and a third-round pick in next year's draft, our own, to the Nashville Predators for UC Saros. And he has not done good. I mean, he's got 15 wins in 47 games played, an .894 save percentage. He's currently listed as an 85, but his role is elite goalie, so you know he's at least an 88 or higher. Last season, in the first season of the sim, he had a .903 save percentage with 4 shutouts. And I mean, if we take a look at their defensive core, it's Roman Josi and then nothing. You got Joel Edmondson, you got Dante Fabro, you got Jacob Lozon. Ryan McDonough's down to an 81. Luke Shen is 79. Levchinov isn't ready yet. Oliver Shillington. Jake Livingstone. Guys, they have Jake Livingstone, who's a 78 overall in the NHL. There's no way Saros is able to play to his top game. And then forwards is pretty weak too. I mean, they got Forsberg, they got Duchesne. O'Reilly's an 83. Cody Glass. I can see why UC Saros might be able to bounce back. And former Toronto Maple Leafs legend David Kampf with 14 points in 57 games. I'm almost tempted to pick up Kampf too, just try to throw him in. But he's got 3 years left. It's just not worth it. All right, so I made some slight alterations. I'm trying to see if they can retain on UC Saros while also removing Elias Solomonson, adding in Nick Camano, our recent pick Mark Breen, and a third-round pick in this year's draft, a fourth-round pick in next year. I don't think they'll be willing to retain based off of this, but I have no problem bringing in UC Saros. Joe Woll is struggling. Ilya Samsonov, I love him, but we'd have to rely on him winning us a Stanley Cup. UC Saros added on to Brett Pesce, Morgan Riley, Austin Matthews, Matthew Nyes, William Nylander, Mitch Marner, and John Tavares is the most insane combination of players on a single team that I can think of, aside from our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode series, where, shameless plug, go watch that. It's a playlist on this channel. It's an amazing series, and that team is one of the best super teams that I've ever had, and I didn't even try to make them a super team. They just became one, okay? Go check it out. Shameless plug a slide. We're going to see, I said a slide twice. I tried to fix it, and I still said it. We're going to see if we can get this trade to go through. I'm willing to add more. I'm still willing to throw in that second-round pick because it is UC freaking Saros. But let's see. Will this go through? It does not, and it's simply because of the cap retention, so that is a really good sign. I am in win now mode. I don't mind giving up draft picks. They're magic beans. They're always going to be magic beans, especially in NHL franchise mode series. They're always going to be magic beans. So we're going to do Mark Breen, Nick Camano, a second-round pick in this year's draft, a third-round pick in this year's draft, and a third-round pick 2 years from now to try and retain all of our picks from the 2026 draft for UC Saros at half retention. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to try to ease up on the cap that I'm asking them to eat. But will this go through? It does. UC Saros is a Toronto Maple Leaf. Let me get the line set up. Ho, fellas. Ho, ladies and gentlemen. Ho, I really gotta stop saying boys because there's also female viewers of this channel and I must be respectful to them. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves an elite roster for the year 2 playoffs, and I'm still not done adding. We're still gonna see what's available, but let me get these lines set up. All right. A little fun fact, okay? UC Saros is currently injured. I didn't see that. I don't know if you guys saw that. I did not see that, but UC Saros is currently injured and there's no timeline for his return. That could be a good sign. It could mean that he returns pretty quickly. Could also be decent because we have a decent tandem. As long as he's back for the playoffs, that's still a good addition, and we honestly didn't give up anything major from our team, so I mean, if we can get UC Saros re-signed, that'd be amazing. But as for right now, we lost that game against the Vegas Golden Knights the first half of the back-to-back. Let's see if we can pick up a win here against the Anaheim Ducks the second half of the back-to-back. Do we do it? We do a 6-5 win, so our team is a little struggling. I'm not taking on Tyler Myers. That's just not happening. Let's see, against the Vancouver Canucks here, game 59 of the season. Can we pick up a win on this road trip again? And Juuso Välimäki is out with an abdominal strain until March 14th. Oh my god, the injury bug is screwing us. Let me make some line changes. All right, and the lines are currently Morgan Riley and Vinny Iorio, Logan Stanley and Brett Pesce, and Jake McCabe. And Simon Benoit on that third pair. And guys, look. He is almost back, so it wasn't a big injury. We will be getting UDC Saros in the lineup before possibly even the trade deadline. And we won that game 4-2 over the Vancouver Canucks. Can we keep the momentum going? And there it is. UC Saros is fully healed. Let's get him in the lines. Oh, that just looks so good. Oh my God, that just looks so good. 90 overall, elite franchise goalie. Oh, I am so excited to see what he can do for us. Let's see if we get one game before the trade deadline to test out what this roster, still injury depleted, will look like for us. We're currently 11 points back of the Florida Panthers now for the division lead, but we are 3 games in hand over them. So let's see if we can catch up. Probably not, but I just want to make it to the playoffs if I'm being completely honest. Back at the Scotiabank Arena, game 60 of the season against the Philadelphia Flyers. Will we get a win? We're going to quick sim this one, and it's a 2-1 win. What a great start. What a great start. Now we're coming up on the trade deadline. I like to do my trade scouting just before we jump into it, usually, but this time I'm gonna add a little bit of spice to it. We're gonna go into the trade deadline and see what moves we can make on the actual day itself. And look at that, just as the trade deadline is about to approach, Matthew Knies is fully healed. We will get him in the lines after the trade deadline ends. Let's keep going here. We are not going to be sellers. We're going to keep the current trade block, and we're going to enter the trade deadline. All right, some big names available. Anze Kopitar, Thomas Hertl, Jeremy Swayman is available. That, in hindsight, might have been a good option. I mean, 6 years at 6.27. He's currently got an 898 with 329 goals against average and 7 wins in 20 games played. Maybe he's about the same as UC Saros, but I kind of liked the fact that UC Saros was a rental. But yeah, there are some big goalies available and some big names available, and big names already moving off the block as Rutger McGroarty goes to the Arizona Coyotes from the Buffalo Sabres for Shane Gostisbehere plus picks. So let me see what I can do. I'm going to do a quick bit of scouting and see what I can add to this team. All right, and the first trade I'm going to make here is a big one for our top 6. I'm not sure it's going to go through because I am asking for 3 million retention just because I do have another trade in mind, but I have to make these trades quick because players are going off the board so quickly. And look at that. Darnell Nurse is now a Arizona Coyote. Wow, what a big move. But here we go. Sam Rinzel, our other top 4 defensive prospect, plus a 4th round pick 2 years from now and their 3rd round pick in next year's draft for Taylor Hall at half retention. And he is doing good currently with 55 points in 61 games, logging top minutes on a weak Chicago Blackhawks team. Let's see if we can pry him from this team. And we don't. It's woefully insufficient. Rinzel, a 2nd, a 3rd, a 7th, and a 6th for Taylor Hall at 2 million retained. And it goes through. Perfect. They're going to have to waive Ilya Samsonov, but that's fine. He won't get claimed because it is a computer-generated move. Usually they don't get claimed during that. I had looked at Tarasenko. He's also an expiring contract, but he does have an extension in place. But I do have one more move in mind. I had an idea to acquire Adam Lowry, but his value is really high. He's got 17 goals and 25 assists in 64 games this season, and we just don't have the capital to acquire him, unfortunately. The next trade I will be making, though, will be a 3rd round pick in next year's draft plus Ronnie Attard to the Seattle Kraken for Alex Iafallo. Now, Iafallo is currently listed as a 3rd line checking forward, 83 overall. His individual attributes are great, though, including that defensive category, and I really want to add that up. So let's see, will this go through? A 3rd round pick and Ronnie Attard for Alex Iafallo? And that does go through. Welcome to the Toronto Maple Leafs, Alex Iafallo. And Adam Lowry is off the board to the Detroit Red Wings for Axel Sandin Pellikka. And aside from that, I did take a look around to see if there's anyone else that we could really afford, because really our cupboards are very barren. We cannot add any more. It's gonna be, if we're gonna add anything more, it'll be through the trade deadline, but that's gonna be it for us. I mean, Dustin Wolf is available. We could technically acquire him. We have UC Saros, we have Joe Woll, we have Dennis Hildeby, we have Ilya Samsonov. We don't need another goalie. That's fine. I tried to acquire Adam Henrique. There's just no ability to, because we don't have anything unless we give up our 1st round pick, and I don't want to do that. Not for nothing. You know what I mean? And that's going to wrap it up for this trade deadline. I'm going to end the trade deadline, go and edit the lines, and then I'll jump back in with you guys. We'll send the last game of this video, the first game after the trade deadline, and we'll see how this team looks. And then, as I said at the beginning of the video, in the next video, we will go through the end of the season and the 1st round, maybe even the 2nd round of the playoffs in the next video. All right, guys. this is looking good. Grebyankin, Matthews, Marner is untouched as that top line. Nyes, Minton, Nylander on that second line. Robertson, Tavares, and Taylor Hall, newest Toronto Maple Leaf, on that third line. And then Alex Iafallo, Nick Abruzzese, and Blake Wheeler on that fourth line. That is a great forward core. Great additions for our team in Hall and Iafallo. Defensively, it's looking about the same as it was. Riley, Iorio, Stanley, Pesce, McCabe, and Benoit as the third starting pair. We're waiting for Valimaki and Hag to return. But guys, I literally said that when a player is waived because the computer does it, like after a trade, that typically they don't get claimed. It's never happened to me. Like if I do best roster normally, yeah, you can get a player claimed. But if you do it after a trade, it's never happened the player's been claimed, and it did today. Ilya Samsonov is no longer a Toronto Maple Leaf. He was claimed, I don't know who by, but he is no longer a Toronto Maple Leaf, and that one hurts badly. I even waived Josh Mahura and Michael Carconi and Connor Brown, and none of them got claimed. But Ilya Samsonov goes to the Nashville Predators. So technically, it was Mark Breen, it was Nick Camano, and Ilya Samsonov, plus the wealth of picks that we gave them for UC Saros, and that hurts. We did claim John Ludwig off waivers from Florida, but oh, that hurts to lose Samsonov. We're gonna have to try and reacquire him at the offseason, because we just got him signed. That's unfortunate, but let's go. The last game of this video right here, game 61 against the Columbus Blue Jackets. The lines, as you've seen, are set. We're at Nationwide Arena. Let's slow sim this one, as is tradition. All right, first period with our new look team, and we are trailing 1-0 after one. A goal by Patrick Laine just like 41 seconds into the game puts the Blue Jackets up by 1. We do outshoot them 15-8 though, so we're pounding them. Their goalie is doing great. Let's see if we can bounce back in the second period. And we do. Matthews gets the first goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs in this game. Johnny Gaudreau makes it 2-1 for the Blue Jackets before John Tavares ties it up. And before you guys ask or go into the comments and say, hey, did you check the market for Tavares and Hag? I did. Nobody wanted Tavares because his cap was too damn high. I wasn't willing to make a Taylor trade because I'd just be forcing him out, and I wasn't willing to do that. And then Nick Hag, he was doing great, so I didn't really look too hard in replacement for him, and he's injured right now. So we are tied after 2 shots, 31-15 for your Toronto Maple Leafs. So we are hounding them. Let's see if we can convert here in the third period. And we don't. Oh, that's not a good sign. Emil Bemstrom, newest Pittsburgh Penguin. Emil Bemstrom gets the game winner for the Blue Jackets. We outshoot them 43-28, but we drop this one 3-2. Now, I'm almost tempted to sim another game, but I am on the deadline. I am on schedule here. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. I think that we made some amazing additions to this team, guys. I think, like, think about it. We just added UC Saros, All-Star UC Saros, All-Star Taylor Hall, and Alex Iafallo to this team for mostly just draft picks and no roster players. That's got to be a win. I mean, you can technically say that we lost Ilya Samsonov in one of the trades. I guess you're right. But all in all, I think we did great. I think we made this team super strong. I'm excited to see what we can do down the stretch here with the remaining 21 games in the season. But that will be in the next video. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I want to quickly say thank you to everyone for your amazing support. I know I haven't been posting videos. I'm really sorry about that. I've been trying to do shorts, and I've been trying to focus on HUT as well. HUT isn't as fun as franchise modes, guys. HUT isn't as unpredictable as franchise modes. I do want to do more HUT, but I'm going to be slowing it down a little bit. If you guys do like the HUT series, please let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have been amazing. Over 100 subs just 2 months in, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. Let's keep it going though. Let's keep it going. Let's try and get it to 200 subs. Let's try and get, I don't know if I said 100 or 200. We're only at 105 right now. Let's see if we can get it to 200 before the summertime. You guys have been amazing, and I will see you guys as we go through the rest of this season and the first round of the playoffs in the next video.